Hi all, Ray here from Switch Finance. Got a very special guest joining us today, Jason Rayner.
Thank you, mate.
Welcome along, buddy.
Thanks for the...
No, my pleasure. I've known Jason for a very long time, and he's had a lot of experience in the corporate world. And of late, in the last few years, he's specialised in looking after, I suppose you'd call it, the commercial property portfolio for a listed multinational company.
Yep.
And Jason does the negotiating on leases and helping them find sites, etc. And he's picked up a lot in that commercial space. And he doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk, because about a year or so ago, he invested in a commercial property, and a really nice one at that. I'd call that a gold chip commercial property, within his super fund, his self-managed super fund, which he's created, and very happy with that, I believe, and it's going well. So I thought I'll introduce Jason, because he's ventured out and become a buyer's agent for strictly commercial property, and he's got some interesting views on it. So let's hear from you, Jason.
Thanks, Ray.
Just a bit of a rundown, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for the nice introduction.
No.
Well, commercial property to me is, I guess, a means to an end. Since spending a lot more time in this industry and also becoming semi-retired in the last couple of years.
That makes me a little bit jealous. That harp on.
You tend to think about, okay, what's important to me going into retirement, and start to take that seriously.
I'll ask you to shed some light on. So you had a fair bit in super between you and your wife.
Yep.
What made you decide, okay, I'm going to cash out of the industry super fund I'm with, turn into cash so I can buy commercial investment property in my super fund? What was I suppose, your motivators to do that?
Yeah.
I've done it myself,
Yep.
and so I know my reasons. They might be very different other people's reasons, but it's good to hear. What made you do it?
Yeah, everyone had their own reasons. It was really important for me to take away some fears for retirement. In my head, I started to think, well, what's this going to look like? Like, I'm getting closer to that point now where I would like to pull the pin. Like, you don't ever want to quite pull the pin going into semi-retirement. You realise quite quickly that you still want to have something that you get your teeth into, hence why I'm here today.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to go into retirement, which most people would. I was thinking, most of us work really, really hard to get a good nest egg. We get a large lump of money. We go into retirement. We know all the things we like in our life that make us happy. Suddenly, we're excited, we've got a bit of a holiday, we dine out, we start to see that nest egg shrink a little bit. And then I thought, well, what's the next step from that? When you see those savings start to shrink a little bit, what happens then? Then I suddenly thought, well, I'd probably start to influence my decision-making process.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I want to do is go into retirement and think, oh, can I really afford to do that holiday? Can I afford to travel, maybe see my family? Can I afford to eat out so much? Can I do all the things that are important to me? As you know, life balance to me is really important. I don't want any of those stresses going into retirement. I've worked way too hard to have any of those concerns going into retirement. So
how does that, going to the commercial property, I suppose, equate to that? Because obviously you must feel you can do better out of that. Yeah, perhaps what the super fund might have done.
Absolutely. And I also didn't want to be in a situation where I just got that big chunk of money and watching it shrink.
Yeah.
That would just drive me crazy. And I think most people, there'd be concern for most people. So I thought, well, what's the answer to that? And it was a tricky one to get your head around. As you mentioned, now I look after leasing for quite a large organisation. And, the benefits that a landlord has on commercial property far outweighs the benefits a landlord has, I feel, on some residential or on our own business.
I agree. The tenant pays for everything. Everything, literally.
Which improves the return on investment. Hello. I thought, it's a very complex sort of topic and there's a lot to it, but if you really want to simplify it down, I thought I can get an investment. It's an asset that's going to increase in value. Yeah. It's an asset where the income, not only the value of the asset grows yearly, the income grows yearly, because you have a legally backed lease with a tenant that has annual rent review, which is a percentage, guaranteed percentage.
The minimum CPI or a 4%, whichever is the grade.
Negotiable, whatever you can negotiate on that lease. My job is to get the best rate we possibly can.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
And that's a lot harder to do that in resi. You can't just put in place 4% increase each year. It's got to be within market parameters.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you got a little bit of flexibility there. So I kind of like that. So I thought, okay, and because what you mentioned before, the tenant paying absolutely for everything. When we say the tenant pays for everything, it's also a tenant that cares about the property because the tenant has a business in that property.
True.
And if the tenant's got a business, the building is the face of his business and reflects their business. It needs to look good, so he maintains it. So in that lease, there's clauses that he has to keep the maintenance up. He pays for the property management. So it's kind of like a set and forget. Once you get it set up, it's a set and forget investment.
So what is the process if someone wanted to engage your services to help them find a property? It doesn't have to be in a super fund. It was just an example there. So doing it in a self-managed super fund does have a lot of advantages, and I won't give that advice because I'm not licensed to do so, but speak to your accountant or financial advisor about it because there are some really great benefits with doing something within your self-managed super fund. But you can also do it outside of that as well, of course.
Well, your income's only 15% taxable in a super fund.
Correct.
So outside of that, it gets it all higher.
Yeah, the big standout for me is that you can sell that asset once you are in drawdown phase, I believe, and not have to pay capital gains tax, which is a massive one. If you did decide eventually you wanted to convert that to cash, whereas you don't need to most times because you got that solid rental income coming in, which is going back to making sure your nest egg's not shrinking. Yeah. So if someone wanted to engage your services,
yes,
what's the process? You have a website, obviously.
There's a lot to it, and I think from our conversation today, people might be a little bit interested, and that'd be great if they were. But if I guess go to my website, wefindcommercial.com, there's more information on there. You can contact me, and then I can send you a lot more information.
Or you can contact Switch Finance. We can pass you on to Jason as well.
Yeah, exactly. And
we don't get anything out of it, by the way. Just saying, don't get anything out of it. Yeah. Just, I like to work with people that I know will look after my clients the way I do, and that's why Jason's here on this video with us today. Yeah, because I know that he will really look after the clients that we recommend.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm only going to take on a few clients at a time. I'm very big on life balance. I'm very big about providing very good service and looking after the people I look after. So I'll take on some selected clients and we'll slowly chip away at that. But I appreciate that. I'll certainly prioritise Switch Finance clients, and I'll also put a special rate in place for as well. And I'll communicate that to the clients when they come through. But basically, I'll halve my rate to help them out.
There you go, guys. Do we have to have one of those special codes or something?
Well, a 1% deal, and just put Switch Finance in the promo code, and I'll look after you from there.
I'm not going to hold you to this, Jason, but what's your favourite commercial property or type of commercial property?
Okay, well, because of what's happened throughout COVID, there's an oversupply of offices, so I probably wouldn't go near those. Outside of that, which a commercial property that has an absolute high demand and there's a very low supply in that area, that would be my favourite type of commercial property.
Takes the political and
takes their risk. Well, mate, they're all good outside of that, yeah.
So, because there's a lot of different types of commercial properties out there, and they all come with different funding restrictions or constraints, especially specialised securities. What commercial properties that are specialised, the things that can only be used for a specific industry, might be a childcare centre, petrol stations, one that's always a little bit on the nose with some lenders just due to the environmental impact.
I'm partial to mixed use.
Mixed use is great. You got building with multiple shops. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Industrial, you like industrial?
Absolutely. Yeah, I really link that into, or I push forward industrial where you've got high population growth. Where you've got high population growth, you need more commercial, more outlets to service that growth. Yeah. Industrial becomes really important.
Otherwise, if you're in a more established area that's sort of not growing as quickly, would you go more retail showroom?
Absolutely. You're on it.
Awesome.
You can be doing this.
I've been doing this for a while. I've been lending on them anyway for a while, but no, awesome. I think you're going to do fantastic, Jason, and thanks for coming in and joining it, man.
It's good to catch up with you.
And special deal out there for Switch Finance customers. We'll put those details along with Jason's in the link below, and keep well, everyone.
Yeah. Cheers.